Yo.
Yeah.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? You are watching the Reggae PodClash. How you doing, Devin?
I'm good. How are you? That little countdown right there just brought me back to the early days of the PodClash.
It's like a vintage moment.
Yeah.
You know?
It's the analog intro.
We have to recognize where we came from, where we started.
Right. We can't just abandon. You can move forward, but you always got to go back too.
Yes, go backwards. Revisit the mug. Yeah, today's another good one, man. We're really stoked. We have the amazing singer, songwriter, engineer, record producer, Alborosie on the show with us. So This is going to be dope, man. He does everything like amazing. He's a jack of all trades. He's a master of all trades, actually. I've been a fan of his stuff for a long time. So we're going to be able to talk to him and dig into the whole story and his studio and all the good stuff. So, but before we do that, let's rock some news, yeah?
Rock it. I'll go first.
Cool.
Anybody who knows me knows I'm a huge fan of Von Benjamin, the late great of Midnight and Akabeka. And before he passed, he had so much. He was such a prolific mind, and his output was just so nonstop. Producers would talk about it. It's one of the reasons he worked with so many different producers, is because it was constant. No producer could keep up with his output, so he just went from producer to producer. And some of his best stuff was with the I-Grade label with Tippy. And before he passed, he recorded at least an album's worth of stuff for I-Grade that hadn't come out yet. And so last week, I-Grade released the new Akabeka album. It's called Polarities. I really recommend everybody go grab it. You can get the CD right now, and it's on Spotify. And you can also pre-order vinyl. It's not out yet, but I pre-ordered mine. It's just, it's bittersweet because, as far as I've heard, it's going to be the last Von I-Grade collection. I don't think there's too much more back catalog in terms of that production team. And it's one of my favorites, going back to their first collaboration, Midnight I-Grade, called Nemo Zion Rasta in 2000 or 2001. Just they have like 7 or 8 or more than that collabs between those two, and it was just always like one of the best collabs between Von and a producer. It was the I-Grade stuff and Von. So it's bittersweet, but it's still very sweet nonetheless. And everybody go check that out. It's the new Akabeka called Polarities. And what do you got? I think there's another album that just came out. That you
yes, man. A good friend of ours, Josh Heinrichs. We had him on the show. He just came out with a new album about 5 days ago. Self-titled album. Really, really cool stuff. Go check it out. It was #1 on the reggae charts.
Yes.
So, it's always nice to see the homies when they're getting on the charts, man. It's not an easy feat to get up there. They got some competition. So
they do.
Yeah, but the album's really good. I had a chance to really check it out and bump it here at the studio. And yes, I can't say nothing but good things about Josh and his music. So please go scope that out.
Yeah, scope that, and also go back and listen to the Reggae PodClash with Josh Heinrichs. It was one of our, it was somewhere in the first 20 episodes range. Go listen to that. It was a really great conversation. And also, we're giving away a record this week, as usual, courtesy of VP Records. Big up VP. They've been such a cool partner of the Reggae PodClash, and we just want to thank Carter and everyone at VP for all they have done and are continuing to do, including giving us these great records to give away. And this week, we're giving away the Backyard Dub LP, engineered and produced by our guest tonight, Alborosie. It's a dub version of the new Wailing Souls record called Backyard.
Yeah.
And, when you combine a talent like Alborosie and some, the classic Jamaican legends like Wailing Souls, there's no way the output could be anything but amazing, So go and enter this giveaway to get this Backyard Dub LP. You can check in the description of this YouTube video. You can go to our podcast page wherever you listen to podcasts and look in the show notes and description there to enter. You can also go to rootfire.net and find the subscription or the where you can enter this contest. Go do that, because this is a great record. Speaking of records, we're gonna skip to our record of the week section right now, because we got some great music to play and we have a great guest tonight, and we want to bring him on sooner than later. So let's play our records. Why don't I go first tonight?
Hit it, baby.
All right. This one is a one-off tune. Well, that's not true. I've got 2 tunes by this artist. We'll talk about it on the other side, but I love this tune so much. This is by an artist called Ja Ted, and it's called Rasta Cry.
repatriation. How long we must stay from our homeland? How long we must feel the hands of Babylon? How long we must bear this separation? You give crash program the whole week. You give literate sea the whole week. The prison we far the island. Oh no, 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 that won't hold me. Oh no, 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 that can't hold me. We want freedom for the people. We want justice for the people. We want freedom for the people. Our repatriation. How long we must wait for repatriation? How long we must stay from our homeland? How long we must feel the hands of Babylon? How long we must bear this separation? You give crash program the whole week. You give literacy the whole week. The prison we far the island. Oh no, 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 that won't hold me. Oh no, 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 that won't hold me. We want freedom for the people. We want justice for the people. We want freedom for the people. Our repatriation. Our repatriation. Our repatriation.
Yes.
Wicked.
Jothead Rasta Cry. See, here's my copy here. It's a Living Music Inc. 7-inch.
Nice.
And Jothead, it's credited, the writing credit goes to G. Livingston, but it says produced and distributed by J. Livingston. So they got the is it G or is it J? We don't know. But
Yeah.
you know,
JG.
it's a pretty sick label, right?
Dope, dude. Yeah, for sure.
And that one is like, I heard that really, really early on in my Jamaican music collecting life. That was a tune that maybe Chuck Foster played it here on, in LA on KPFK or something. But I remember like when I was first buying Jamaican vinyl, trying to track that tune down.
Right.
And I've got another one by him over that same rhythm too. And the name it's called Wrong Imprisonment. And just wicked, like just, I'm a sucker for tunes like that,
Yeah.
Like the lyrics are just, really, really, socially conscious lyrics, and just there's no harmonies on that. He's just doing his thing. There's a really slight delay on the vocals, really, really slight. And to me, that sounds, if I had to take a guess on the band, it sounds like Soul Syndicate to me. The guitar is doing this kind of Flyers pattern, even though the drums aren't playing the Flyers hi-hat, but and the organ's kind of matching them. It's jing it, jing it, jing it, jing it. And it just sounds like Santa on the drums to me. I could be totally off about that, but that's just my... although, ever since we had Soul Syndicate on the show, I think everything's Soul Syndicate now. But that's my guess.
I think you'd be right, man. On any other normal circumstance, it'd be a far guess, but no, not in this sense. No.
You know what would be great to do is like have
game
them
show?
back for another show.
Oh, okay.
And make the theme of the show like just upload just records, and play them like little snippets and be like, is this you? Is this you? Is this
Exactly.
you? I think because that's like what we would do if we were hanging, and people might want to listen in. But yeah, that tune, I don't have a lot to say about it. Repatriate. I'm always a sucker for a good repatriation song too.
Yeah.
The lyrics are just heavy. He says we want freedom for the people, we want justice for the people, or repatriation. Like we want to fix shit here now, and if not, we're going home. Because we didn't choose to come here. You brought us here, so we're gonna fix things or we're gonna go home. And I just love that tune. It's heavy, gives me goosebumps every time. Jothead, Rasta Cry. It's a heavy tune. What do you got for us today, Raj?
Cam Parker, man, on a Bamboo label. You got to love everything on the Bamboo label, pretty much. There's so many good tracks. Cox and Dodd would license a lot of his music to the Bamboo label, which is a UK label. On this show, you'll hear us talk about the UK labels as, the UK, not only did they perform their own brand of reggae, which has its own sound, but they license a lot of music from JA over to the UK and re-released them on different sub-labels. Anyways, this song is by Kim Parker. Check it out. Yes, sir, man.
Yeah.
Hey, check this out. So who does that sound like? If you didn't know it was Kim Parker?
Pat Kelly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When I first heard this song, I thought, oh, Pat Kelly's nah, man, Kim Parker.
Yep.
And
they sound very, very similar.
they got that falsetto vibe, man. It's a beautiful falsetto voice.
Yeah.
As I dug deeper into Kim Parker, there's a couple things. So he's a gospel singer in Jamaica, and he released an album I've never heard of on Studio One. I actually have a picture of it. I'm gonna put it up right now, and it's a gospel album that came from Studio One. Check this out.
Ooh.
Isn't that crazy?
Jesus, nice.
I've never seen this album. I've never heard of this album.
I knew
And
Studio One released some gospel stuff.
I did not know that. And so I'm yeah, you got to tell me, man. Tell me about these things, man.
I haven't heard it though. I haven't heard it.
Okay, so I want to check that out because I'm so curious as to see, okay, is it like a straight, if you put it on, would you know that it sounds like, is there reggae elements to it, rocksteady elements to it? I'm not sure what year it actually came out. Or is it just a straight up gospel album?
That looks like early 70s just from the
Doesn't
cover,
it? Yeah, let's put it back up real quick.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? It looks cool. I mean, just seeing the logo right there at the bottom
And he
left
looks
is like-
youngish,
Oh, totally. Yeah. Yeah, this ain't 92. This is straight up back in the day. I was fortunate to back up Mr. Kim Parker, actually. We did this thing with Chris Brennan and the Solutionary guys, and we did it. Keith and Tex and Kim Parker, and it was great talking to him. And his voice is still amazing. Not a huge roster of hits, but the songs that he's on, I really, really enjoy. Such a cool voice.
There's a song by him called "It's All Right." That that one. That's such a wicked tune.
Oh yeah,
I believe it's a Joe Gibbs production. Man, that "It's All Right" is the tune. And him and Pat Kelly both do those Sam Cooke swoops. Those like
totally.
those things. Like, oh man, it sounds so nice.
Kill it, kill it, kill it. And the cool part about this song, if you listen to it again, I encourage you guys to check it out, is that the piano is doing this really almost like the same pattern that like an organ bubble would do. And there you got a fair share of songs that do that, and I always it always sticks out in my ear whenever I hear that, because the piano's usually doing like an upbeat kind of skank thing, but to keep it chugging with and there was really no organ in that song. It's just like the piano kind of keeping it moving. Yeah.
Oh, crazy! Because that kind of tune, you almost like figure an organ is a prerequisite.
Right. They're like, nah, man, organ won't turn on today, man. Jump on that piano, see what you got.
Well, the organ guy didn't show up that day.
So like, yeah, man,
piano's got to do it. It's probably Gladdy, huh?
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, totally. These are. I listened to the song and nothing sticks out to me as far as like what studio it was. Like, I know it's Coxsone, but I only know that because it's like on the label. But when I hear it, it doesn't sound like a straight Studio One song to me. It sounds like it could be another studio. But yeah, man, a great tune.
The original, let's see, is by
the
Bell.
OG, William Bell and Booker T. And I didn't know that, obviously, so I had to jump online. First time I heard this song was this song, so I haven't even heard the OG. Do you know this song at all? Besides this one?
I mean, I'm so Jamaican music's my thing, and
yeah,
there's so many songs from America that I just don't know, especially from that time period. I just like call me closed-minded, call me whatever, but once I discovered Jamaican music, I was like, I'm good here.
Yeah, there's a lot of tunes that were done in Jamaica that are cover songs, and we're none the wiser. Side note, I actually did a video piece, some content that's going to come out this Friday from the History of Ska, their outlet, and Eric Kohler.
Nice.
And Eric used to do a thing called Havana Kingston Connection, where he highlighted the connection.
I used to listen to that show all the time.
It's a great show. And so he's asking a handful of people to kind of talk about it. And I did this kind of in-depth thing where if you've seen any of the pieces of my content I put up on YouTube, it's just showing examples. Here's the original song, Perez Prado. Here's the Skylight version. Here's the original Cuban, rare Cuban singer, their song, and then here's another Tommy McCook version. So check that out. It's coming out Friday.
Nice.
But it plays along the same lines of what we're talking about, cover songs that are done in Jamaica. Yes, well, we got to move on, man, because I really want to talk to our special guest today, man.
But first, real quick, before we do that, I just want to remind everybody that our Record of the Week segment is brought to you by the Reggae PodClash merchandise store. You can go to rootfire.net and get your Reggae PodClash gear. This is a non-profit show. We're not making any money, but there are some expenses. And so when you buy some merch, it helps us cover those expenses. You can get your hoodie, your shirts, a mug, this nice mug that Roger has, a hat, a beanie. Please go check it out. It's at rootfire.net, and you click on the store tab, and you will see it. The great Reggae PodClash merch store. Okay, Roger, I'm sorry I interrupted you.
No.
Why don't you do the honors?
Yes, our next guest is amazing at everything he does. Singer, songwriter, engineer, record producer. I'm a big fan of this gentleman because his studio is amazing. Everything that comes out of it is amazing. And I just, like I said, I have my humble little spot here, and I look up to him, and I have for years. So we're going to get to talk to him about everything under the sun. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Mr. Alborosie.
Greetings. What's up?
How you doing, sir?
I'm chilling, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, there you go. Yeah, for sure, man. It's a pleasure to have you on, man.
Yeah, in my dark studio, just, get some vibe of music. And listening to the music that you guys playing is fantastic.
Oh, thank you, man.
Thank
you. Wow, man, it brings me back to the Sunday. The Sundays in Jamaica, they play like the revival music, the original ska, rock steady.
Wow.
So, and when I see the picture of the album that you presented a while ago, like it's a rural type of vibe, I know it very well. This is Jamaica,
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow, where do the Sunday old school revival things typically happen? Where do you hear that music?
The music is a bit from like the church, the folk music, the mento, the calypso, the ska rock steady is a combination of the true Jamaican culture that actually um, come from, yes, the calypso and the mento, but also mixed with the rhythm and blues, the shuffle, you know. And then in Jamaica was readapted, you know, for the culture, you know.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, and it's used right now in the church. So when you
Really?
go to church, yeah, it's like, you know, everything is like a remake of into a gospel style of classics from the 60s and the 70s. And a while ago, when I listened to the music, it brought me back to the church. You know, sometime I go to church, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
my family, they are Christians, you know, so I follow them because it's fun, you know. you
Yeah,
know,
for sure.
Jesus, 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 and give you that rock steady ska vibe, you know, like you guys bring me back to the Sundays. You know, today is what, Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday.
Yeah.
We can pretend it's Sunday.
Today is Sunday.
Sunday's like the reggae day anyway. Even here in Los Angeles, you know, we've had
Right.
Sundays is always the day. Everybody who DJs out has their Sundays their day. There's a great reggae show here in LA
Yes.
on Sundays. It's been going on since the 90s. Yeah, so we'll pretend it's Sunday.
Sunday, yes, come on, man. Yes, I love the keyboards behind you, man.
Oh, thank you. It's actually they're all cardboard cutouts. They're not even real. It's just one big picture. Yeah, thank you, man.
Yes, nice,
Uh,
nice keyboards.
Now
man.
Roger's a wicked organist.
Yes,
He's
I
got a
can-
really nice studio there in Los Angeles. He's played for years in a group called the Agrolites that does old school late 60s early 70s Jamaican style stuff.
You're too kind.
I
We
mean, it's
actually,
true.
you know what's funny is we actually were on a track together, Alborosie, but obviously not the same time. But Slightly Stupid's "If You Want It." Do you remember doing
Yes.
that track?
Of course.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
I'm on keys on that one. So,
I have a collection of keyboards. There's a cover
okay.
from Studio One, with I don't remember the artist or the I don't remember the actual the artist, but
Uh-huh.
all the keyboards on the cover,
Mhm.
these are the keyboards I have here.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
Nice.
because I have a huge collection of keyboards from Studio One, Dennis Brown, We and the People Band, from Bob Marley. I have,
Wow.
this is the real dub club.
No, for sure. I mean,
Nice.
the legend. Let's dig into that, because I've definitely heard you have some really nice equipment that that has seen the days of early recordings and stuff like that. Can you tell us about some of these pieces you inherited or purchased from some of the studios of the day?
My collection started years ago when I live in Jamaica, almost 30 years now, and I was passionate about vintage before moving to Jamaica. So when I came to Jamaica, now I said to myself, "Well, I need some of the real things, some of the real instruments from the golden time of reggae." So at that time, about like 15 years ago, with my manager specialist, we went around Jamaica, tried to find the equipment that was forgotten somewhere
Mhm.
in a bathroom, in a backyard, and that has been my mission for like 10 years. So I had like couple of, obviously I'm joking, but a couple of informers. They call me, "Yo, Albo, I heard
I love it.
there's a keyboard right there. The man have a keyboard in his backyard and whatever." You say, "Oh yeah, so let's go check it out." And believe me, guys, we went to some places that you wouldn't go there.
Wow. Wow.
Wait, I just for the laughing, I'm not gonna call any name and I'm gonna call any location or whatever. But
Right.
I remember one time I went to this place. It's like going into a gang. Everybody like, and you going through one little small lane with everybody looking at you like this, like some thugs, real thugs.
Yeah.
And at the end of the lane, there's a studio, and then in the studio there's a back room, and in the back room, like there was like it's a gold mine, like
Wow.
compressors, mic pre's from the 60s and the 70s.
Wow.
I was like, I didn't at the time even look at the tugs, I was in the middle of the action,
Right.
and so we discussed the price and whatever, and eventually I get out and I bring back home my equipment. That was just the situation after I took it. I say, oh shit, man, I go through a little, and that is just one of the experience, because the best experience of all. Let me share it with you. Studio One.
Yes, please.
Yes, Studio One. I purchased a lot of equipment from Studio One. And I remember going to Studio One, and Mr. Coxon's wife, she was selling me the equipment at the time. So she had a back room full of equipment, full. At that time, nobody never really into buying equipment in Jamaica, whatever. I was actually the only one going around and tried to find this junk, because it's most of them need repairs, and most of them rotten out and whatever. So
Right.
you have to put in the work. I remember this back room, right, guys? So you go into Studio One. So she was there waiting on me, and she always direct me to the room and say, Alborosie, go in there and see if there's something that you like. Guys, it's like you're going to a child to Disneyland.
Wow.
I don't know how to describe it. It's
Wow.
and when I went there, I can relate to you, because I just start to see roads, clavinet, moogs, different type of moogs, and everything was just thrown away like that, like pile up, guitars, amplifiers, and I had to sit down for a second, because I said to me, "Oh, this is God, man! Like this is, I saw God."
Right.
And the smell, I will never forget the smell. Also because the smell now is here.
Ah.
I've
Nice.
been going there every week,
Uh-huh.
to
Uh-huh.
check to check the Mr. Coxon's wife, every week,
Mhm.
with my manager. I say, yo, we're coming back this week. Because the room, we never took it from the main studio. The main studio had instrument there,
Mm-hmm.
which is the organ from Jackie Me Too, the
Jeez.
stuff from whatever. But the back room had amazing equipment, same way.
Mhm.
So, I took a lot of stuff. I purchased it, obviously, everything legit.
Mhm.
And but the smell that was every time I go in that room, the smell was like smell of history.
Wow.
You need to smell it. I can't explain
I
to you.
can't. I want to smell it.
I want to
can't
smell
wait
it
to-
too.
When you go there, you smell the vintage, the history, and every time I purchase something and I bring it back home, the entire house smell like that.
Mhm. Mhm.
And to me, it was like, whoa, man. And sometimes I go downstairs, because everything is downstairs, and I can smell it. I smell the history. And
Wow.
I took from her some nice keyboards, some nice piece of history, and she was very kind, very lovely lady. And I'm really grateful, And then my research continued. I went to Blackbeard, Aquarius, went to RJ.
Mhm.
I went all over the place, and I purchased what I could.
Right.
I have quite a few pieces, interesting pieces, also very prestigious. I have the RJ mixing board that Bob Marley used to
Wow.
record 5 albums, including Catch a Fire. Yes.
Wow.
One Love was recorded with my board,
Wow.
and then I have the API, Channel 1 API, the
Jeez.
original Channel 1 API.
That's insane. Yeah.
Yeah, so I have that. Plus, I have all the keyboards from Studio One, whatever. I have all the outboard stuff from King Tubby's.
Mhm.
And I spend part of my life, collecting history, you know.
That's amazing. Do you ever get people like tourists or music tourists coming to your studio now to check all this stuff out just to like see the stuff? Like, oh, it's not even at Studio One anymore. It's at Alborosie's place. We got to go check it out.
No, because it's a private place. It's my
Right.
house. You know, like,
Right.
you know, I don't. I like to come here with my coffee. You know, my slippers and whatever. You know, so I take a shower and then come in the studio, and so it's like a homey vibe. It's a recording studio, but it's still my studio. So I don't rent it. I don't, you know. Um, I'm actually building a new studio now where I could facilitate like people to come visit, not on a large scale, like still like, you know, invited, exclusively invited people.
Right.
So, but you know, that's the vibe more or less. You know, it's just my relation with my music is like that, very private. You know.
For sure.
Right. I could totally understand that, man. It's funny we're talking about this specific subject because yesterday I had a couple gentlemen over from Natural High. They were from Jamaica, and they have a production team called Natural High. But we were on the discussion of equipment, of, you know, over here we take for granted in Los Angeles. There's a variety of organs I can go and buy tomorrow. Like I look in our classified section, and I can sift through them if they work or don't. But the primarily, you know, if you want it, you can get it because a lot of people have them from. But in Jamaica, they were telling me that, you know, if you want something and it's not on the island, to ship it over is kind of a hurdle. Is that correct? Like if you're trying to get big pieces of equipment, you have to pay the taxes and stuff, and sometimes it's not worth the cost.
Well, I'm very connected. You know.
Oh, okay. Well, for you, it's probably different.
I
can
do
imagine.
this years now, some kind
Yeah,
of a little equipment mafia also.
There you go. Yeah, definitely. I love
love
it.
So equipment mafia also. That's
Yeah.
very nice. Yes. So I have my links then. I bring in stuff. I do things and whatever. So if I want to purchase something, but my situation is a little bit different because I purchased everything in Jamaica.
Right. That's what I was saying. Yeah.
But I was interested in actually collecting the roots reggae equipment, not just equipment on eBay. You know. So
Right.
So I did it like that. I have few pieces that I bought in the United States, like, you know, just because I wanted it, and in Jamaica you can't find it. But so I have few pieces like that, and I, you know, once you have experience, you know how to do it. You know, there's a lot of shipping company and whatever. You know, the price is there. You just bring it in and clear it. It's a little bit expensive, yes, but Jamaica is Jamaica, and the United States is the United States.
Right.
So we
Right.
have to adapt ourselves to the system, right?
I have to ask because, you know, you have your pieces like, you know, the Mutron biphase. If you're in LA, we could get a Mutron biphase. You jump on eBay, you jump online. I'm sure you have all these pieces that everyone kind of has. But can you name like some maybe your prized piece of equipment that, you know, I'm sure you have a lot of one of a kind pieces, but something that you know, okay, no one else is going to get out there on eBay, for example.
I guess
Besides, you know, like,
I have this nice one.
I love it. I love this, by the way.
This is
You're not gonna find this. No way, man. This is a Langevin original.
Wow.
This is
Crazy.
EQ. This is an EQ. Langevin EQ 252.
Wow.
I have tons of stuff like this that you're not gonna find.
Right.
So,
Jeez, man.
but
I'm getting an equipment Woody over here. Sorry.
I have the King Tubby stuff. I have the Spring Reverb. I have Echo modified and designed by the King. I have a lot of stuff. I have the original Fairchild. The Fairchild that you see King Tubby with the Fairchild. I have that.
The reverb.
Yeah, the reverb. You guys can't see it now because obviously the computer, the position and whatever. But then the RJ mixing board, I have Neve, Mike Prees. I have a lot of stuff.
You are a museum. Essentially, you're a working museum.
Like, wow.
It's
but
really,
even more than studio equipment,
right.
instruments, tons of keyboards, and I have 3 Moogs, mini Moog, memory Moog, Source. I have the Phantom. I have the mini Korg. I have tons, like
Wow.
you know.
You mentioned the Tubby's Fairchild, and I do want to dip into this amazing VST, this amazing program, computer program you have for producers and musicians out there. If you're listening, please go to Audio Thing. Audio Thing is a company, and they've partnered with Alborosie and released the Dub Station, and it's a reverb, a delay, and a high pass filter. Can you talk a little bit about that, Alborosie?
Well, over the years, I'm an engineer, recording and mixing engineer, and also obviously an artist, musician, blah blah blah. So over the years, I kind of I built my craft. I learned my way. I never go to school, and I did it on the battlefield. Working with a lot of people, international producers also, international artists also. Big names also. So I've been watching, observing, learning, whatever. So I shaped my craft my way. So when I create music, I use my own sounds. Like I have my drum, I set my drum, I tune my drum myself. The guitar going through an amplifier that goes through a pedal. The pedal is modified, blah blah blah. So I create my own sounds. So people has been asking me about, hey, that sound, the sounds that you're using. And I remember when I started, I was the only one doing it. I remember the first dub album I put out was the Dub Clash. Mm-hmm. That was one of the first dub album coming out of Jamaica from a long time. And I remember when I started with my rubber dub style, because I grew up with rubber dub style, the boof bath, the 1-2,
yep.
They call it the roots radix, basically. Yeah. And producers in Jamaica, they were saying, oh, this is European reggae, we don't like this in Jamaica, whatever. I say, yeah, I like it, what I mean? That's my sound. So I've been constructing my sound, and I shape my sound and whatever until I saw it. My sound was endorsed by Jamaican artists also, because we started with the Kingston Town, the Herbalists, and all the songs, One the Urban, whatever, the original rubber dub style, and then slowly I saw the Jamaican artists endorsing it, Jamaican producer endorsing it, Don Corleone, and many artists, whatever. So people been asking me, okay, can we get the sounds? Can we get the drum sound? Can we get whatever? I kind of never really, at that time, I was just, I was doing it, and I was doing it well. So I want to keep the recipe for myself, right?
Right.
And then now, after so much years, and I see many youths now endorsing the sound and whatever, I say, you know what? You guys been asking me for years. Let me do something for you. At first, we were trying to do an hardware, like a real equipment,
Mm-hmm.
But then it was very complicated. China involved, parts and engineering and whatever. I say, oh man, this is too much work, man. I mean, this is 2021. I'm sure that we just use a plugin, and we get close to somehow, because it's not the same thing full 100, but it's still very close.
Yeah.
So we could get the same vibe with a plugin. So we sample my sounds, we sample my spring reverb, my filter, we sample my echo, going through the board, because then I record with the procedures, EQ and whatever. So the sounds are my sounds, and we sample that, and then we start a collaboration with an Audio Thing, and they are very nice. They have some nice product. And I think they were the right one to actually, put out to release my dub station, and that was it. And I did extremely well, people, very well. Like the dub station, went out like hot bread.
Wow.
I'm surprised myself when I say extremely well. We did very well.
All right, that's good to hear.
Yeah. So I think so far we should be nearby like 3,000 plugins and
Wow.
yeah, and counting. You know, like still doing well,
Wow.
and so I'm very happy. And now we have a bunch of dub masters all over the world using the Alborosie dub station.
Right. And it's because of you. I mean, think about it. You know, the forefathers like Tubby and, you know, Perry and scientists and all that stuff. It's like you're right in the discussion as the music progresses, you know. They hear
Well,
your music and
thank you.
for
And
sure.
I have a lot of work to do, and there's a lot of many ways to, you know, we still have to discover other ways to do things. Because the world is moving fast, and is moving in a direction that not necessarily people like me and you guys, maybe we don't like the new direction of the world, because we still listen to the records that you been presenting a while ago. Like you say, oh man, this is the real thing. But the new thing now, the fact that I'm happy with the dub station, because in 2021 I brought back the real thing, some of the sounds that you know, like, at least in the dub, in the real roots reggae dub, whatever, I brought back some of the magic, some of the vibe, you know.
Oh, for sure. That's really the key. You know, it's like trying to live in both worlds is, you know, it's like really all you can do. It's like it's nice to embrace all the, you know, all the stuff that the modern technological musical world has to offer, but you always got to, you know, make sure you keep those old school elements alive, you know, within it. And that's kind of the fun of it too. Like you said, it's like discovering, and it's just this never ending, you know, fun journey of discovery, you know, and especially when it comes to dub and recording. Like, that's so fun. You can always figure out new ways to do it, you know. And like, speaking of discovering, just there's so many, you know, fans of Alborosie that are checking this out, and I really wanted to, you know, ask you about like how you first really discovered Jamaican music and how your love for it really kind of came about.
Well, obviously with Bob Marley back then, you know, years ago in Italy, Bob Marley, Wailing Souls. Wailing Souls was one of my first reggae band that I love the most. And I discovered them just, you know, in Europe, Italy. At that time, you just go to the gas station, and they used to sell like some cassettes, like some reggae compilation, and there's some I can't say it. I can't use that word. Let me change some. How can I say some silly song? Also, some song like "I don't like reggae." I
Oh, I
love
get what you
it.
say. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a German.
That's a good one.
There was a German reggae song called Carbonara.
Oh, wow.
Carbonara and a cup of de cola. That was a German reggae song from the 80s.
Wow.
This guy is good on YouTube and
Who's do you remember the artist? Do you remember what was
I
it?
don't know, but there's a song called you're gonna find it because I found it. Like, you know, Carbonara, the reggae song. I went and these guys are singing like they went on vacation in Italy,
Right.
and they just eating carbonara and a cup of Coca-Cola. So the song is carbonara and a cup of cola. It was like, but then no, you know, you also had songs on the compilation, like with the Wailing Souls, Bob Marley. So it was a mix. So I fell in love with that genre like that, you know, listening, go through the A to the Z. And some of the songs, they were like, you know, but most of them were the right one. And so I fell in love with the genre. I was a child, you know. So, and then from there, I'm here, you know, talking to you.
Nice.
So
That's
Wailing
crazy.
Souls was one that just really gravitated to you.
Yes, and carbonara. Make sure you're checking
And
it
then
out.
Carbonara, not to forget. So what, like, so I mean, dang, if you're finding that stuff at the gas station, then I guess, you know, Italy in the, what was this, like the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, it must have been like reggae, because, you know, here in LA, it's like, or just in the States in general, it's like reggae has always been a very underground thing. It's hard to find, you know, once you spend enough time, you get your community, and now it's not so hard to find. But it does, you know, definitely not finding any, you know, Wailing Souls at the gas station. So like at that time, Italy must have had a pretty nice reggae scene.
Reggae at that time was like trap now, like trap hip hop now.
Wow.
Like reggae at that time. Reggae was the song. Like,
Wow.
you know, we grew up with reggae, and reggae was massive in France, in Italy, in Germany, and I have to say, it's sad to see that reggae kind of took a little step back and became a little bit now, like a niche
Right.
market, and that very underground. Compared to that time, was like reggae was mainstream. Like to do well at that time, you have to play a reggae,
Wow.
and now it's completely different. Like now that I guess is the disposable music took over, and reggae, took a little, step back.
Wow. That's so. Were there like some big Italian reggae artists at that time that you that you really looked up to?
Yes, we did have a band. It's still going. But band called Africa Unite.
Okay.
We did have Pittura Fresca at the time. Fresh Paint,
Right.
and
Nice.
we did have like Radio Rebel. These are bands from the 90s, and great bands, great. Africa Unite still doing it, great, and but the scene was vibrant, like a lot of reggae band, ska, reggae, rock steady, and that was the time of the revolution, because at that time in Italy there was a very large movement of revolutionary people, them called we the squatters. We used to go occupy places and against the government, the fascists, the redskin. We used to listen to rocksteady reggae, and we used to march, protest against the government, the far right. So it was a movement, and the soundtrack of the movement was actually reggae music.
Nice.
And it's sad to see nowadays is like completely disappeared, like and the new generation interested in something else, and you still have people like endorsing reggae, but it's a little slow time, especially now with the COVID. Reggae, it's a live music, festivals, like touring, and so when we perform live, the machine is moving, the whole thing moving. But if you don't perform, you slow down a little bit until things get back to where it used to be. Then
Right.
we're gonna celebrate again.
Oh, for sure. Hopefully, it seems like
Definitely.
it's slowly turning the corner. So that's
Yes.
good. So in Jamaica, but are things still under curfew?
Then we have some kind of curfew on weekends. Also, I think 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock is curfew in the night.
Wow.
So yes, from 8 o'clock to 5 nighttime. Then on Saturday we have curfew from 5 o'clock to 5 o'clock a.m. On Sunday from 2 p.m. to 5 a.m.
Wow.
That's a trip.
Yeah, Jamaica is doing better right now, I believe, because most of the population catch COVID.
Hey, that's one way, right? Jeez.
So in Jamaica, if there's something going around, everybody catch it. Everybody.
Right.
Because it's such a
It's just a small place, and
Yeah.
Dang. Them
Uh,
chickenpox hit, it's over.
it's over. Like in Jamaica, anything come to Jamaica, we all get it. so,
Right.
so when I heard about the COVID and whatever, it was just I was waiting. So,
right.
Bring it.
I don't know if I caught it because like I never whatever. My family will never have no problem, but I don't know.
Right.
Right.
I'm here talking to you, so it's a good sign.
It's a good sign, man. I'm waiting to hear the reggae COVID songs. Are there any yet? Have any of you guys heard any?
Well, I have actually a COVID song, Unprecedented Time.
Oh
That's
yes,
that's a great
exactly.
song.
It
I
is a
love
great
that
song.
song.
Well,
It's a
actually,
great song.
we actually I made an advert earlier and included
Yeah.
that song, and me and
Yes.
Devin were talking about it earlier. Yeah,
It's a beautiful melody. It's a
it's
beautiful
a great tune. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. And it did very well. Very, very. It was playing like in Europe, England, like 5, 6, 7 times a day in London and whatever. It
Wow.
was huge. Like, I mean, it's still doing very well.
Mhm.
And but I was surprised, like, because it's a roots reggae song, you know, like, you know, and
Yeah.
nowadays roots reggae music, it's you know, you have to give it to the people, make them digest it and whatever, because it's not so immediate like we used to. So, but Unprecedented Time, they did extremely well.
Oh, that's
Extremely
cool.
well. Yes.
Well, yeah, it is root. It's got that Carlton Barrett and one drop style too.
Yes. You know.
Yeah, that's really nice. That's a great
Yeah.
song.
Thank-
Yeah, man. You know, I want to skip ahead a little bit because, you know, I don't want to wait till the end with this. I know you have a new album coming out and you got a new tune coming out this Friday with Collie Buds.
Yes.
And we have the pleasure of being able to premiere this tune.
Yeah.
So, do you want to tell people the name of this song real quick before I play it?
The song is called Jinal. Jinal is a con artist, somebody that, you know, trick you with words and stuff, you know. He's a trickster. A trickster is a Jinal. So it's a little gimmicks, you know, it's a little, you know, it's just for fun, you know. Jinal, don't trust them, you know. They amongst you, but you don't trust them. So, and I contact Calibuds, you know. I'm a fan from a long time. So I say, yo, you know, let's do a song together, bro. And they say, okay, let's do it. And here it is, Jinal.
Nice. We're gonna play, and we're gonna play the whole song. We don't do like the 40-second.
Of course, yes.
We're gonna play the whole thing. So everybody, you know, this is the new Alborosie Collie Buds tune. You're hearing it here for the first time. Just, you know, just enjoy this. We're gonna play it. This is Jinal.
You know what? Alborosie, Calibuds. See them a move sneaky.
Motor massive, shottings run road like a taxi. Glued to my word like epoxy. No carry news, lava lava, me and a foxy. That's why enough so mouth lay down in a casket. Me drive straight in a lane, cause there's no traffic. You must live good in peace or a topsy. Cause nowadays everybody is a John Wick. Your choice will be easy just like a one tree. No way, no way. Life getting harder each and every day. At school, at work, in a public places. A beer, Jinal, ship and screw faces. Jinal, Jinal, Jinal. 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 Jinal, Jinal, Jinal.
Look out for the
Jinal, Jinal, Jinal.
Look out for the people, them come smiling on your face. I'ma take your place. Cause enough for them that bout ya. Them Jinal, only one go erase and make you fall from grace. With no one them that bout ya. A Jinal, that means say them a creep me and no time for them. Them so evil, them a send a little spite for them. Figure watch you and go see how your money are rolling. Patrolling. The money rolling enough. Some people them a bluff. You have to know who's who and who's them. Just know how to trust. Me not have time for them people. Wicked and evil. If this way things are going, I want a Babylon sequel.
Jinal, Jinal, Jinal. 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 Jinal, Jinal, Jinal.
That's nice. That's
Rubber dub style.
yep, heavy, 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 heavy. It's nice to hear you and is that the first tune you and Collie Buds have done together?
Yes.
Yeah, that's nice.
Then
That's nice.
after I did something for him for the Cali Roots Rhythm.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I
So
heard
it
that.
was an exchange of energy, you know.
Nice.
Thank you to Igor, you know. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Ineffable, yes.
Big up Igor.
Presently is also managing my situation, so I'm really grateful. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna do well. Igor, Igor, yes.
Igor is great people. I can vouch for him personally. I've known him
Yes.
for quite a while. He used to. I was in a band for years called the Expanders, and Ineffable was managing us, and
Yes.
we went on tour with Collie Buds, and Igor came on the whole tour. And
Yes.
Igor's a great guy, so I know you're in good hands with that. So yeah, tell us about that single, and it's from your upcoming album, right?
My upcoming album For the Culture is out June 4th. It's a great work. I mean, I don't listen to my music too much. It's funny. I don't listen to my music. You know, like I create it and then let it go, and that's it for me, and move on to something else. But this time around, I don't know if it's a good sign. I listen to my album a lot.
Nice.
Nice.
That never happened to me. That I never. So, but this is a pleasant album. You know, it's various. Yeah. The one before, Unbreakable with the Wailers, was very like rootsy album. This one also, it's a reggae album, obviously, but there's some elements of some crossover elements in there also. So it's a combination between reggae and crossover, you know. So it's still reggae, but a little bit with a touch, right? And, it's very pleasant. So when I drive, I listen to the album, for the first time. I listen to my music, and I guess if I like it, maybe you guys like it too. I mean, you heard the songs, and Calibods and whatever. It's strong.
Yeah.
It's music to me. Some people selling music like McDonald's, but I am the trattoria. You know,
Nice.
There you go.
you
There
come
you
to
go.
to my 20 tables trattoria.
It's fine audio dining.
Yes, fine. Audio dining. Yes, very very good. I'm gonna take it from you. Yeah?
You can have it. That's yours.
Yes, thank you. So yes, my music is like a trattoria. Like it's maybe it's not like a McDonald's, but the quality, the passion, the love for it. You just have these people that in the kitchen like, what is that? I make the sauce, I make everything, and so that is my music quality. I spend time with sounds. I spend time with lyrics. I always say one song is forever, so you must do it right, and you must get it right. The good thing about my music, to me personally, and for me also a bad thing, but it's natural and it's a good thing, is that you hear the progress from 15 years ago up to now. You hear the journey. The songs change, my voice change and whatever. Also, you notice that I use my voice as an instrument. For instance, like 15 years ago, everybody was a sing J, so I was singing J more. Nowadays, everybody's a singer, so I sing more. So I adapt my voice and my style with the time, so to keep myself always floating, like going with the flow, and still remaining faithful to the genre.
Right.
But yeah, it's a great album. I love it, and I believe that it's gonna do well, and people gonna love it. You have Unprecedented Time in there.
Nice.
You have Ready featuring Joe Mercer. And then you hear already, Ginal now, and Listen to the Waves, and For the Culture, actually, and Never Let Me Down. So these are songs that they are inside the album, so you actually have an idea of what's going on there. But you still have some big tune that you never hear, so you're gonna wait until June 4th, and then you're gonna say, "Oh, whoa, man,
Nice.
go easy, man."
Are you gonna release it on vinyl?
Of course,
Nice.
everything. Yes.
Beautiful.
Also, we're gonna have the dub version.
Nice.
We're gonna do some dub mechanic with all the
Yes.
versions and stuff. So I give you the full package, like, the trattoria is working, we're working, we're cooking a lot of food.
A lot of quality stuff coming
the
out
whole
for
staff
sure.
working. We got some people asking some questions. Big up Jeremy. He's got 2 questions. I'll put up one. He says, any tour dates this year or next? Oregon needs Alborosie. And I'll piggyback on that. He also wants to know what artist would you like to work with that you haven't yet. So that's 2 questions from Jeremy.
Well, Oregon, I need you also. So it's mutual. I'm coming there. I think we have a show. Igor is lining up some touring around May,
Nice.
including the Cali routes.
Nice.
Yeah, so we're getting ready for next year, definitely. We're watching the situation right now. We're still watching and whatever, but we're going, yes, to the United States next year and also Europe. I think we started next year. We should be good. And the next question, if there's any artists I would like to collaborate with, yes, but everybody. I mean, as a producer, I'm a producer, so it's like I'm a photographer. You don't ask to a photographer to which picture you would like to take. They might just go and take pictures. Like, oh, is this cool? So to me, recording someone is like it's my nature.
For sure.
Right.
So yeah. So even if let's say you want me to do a song with a lyrical artist, opera artist, whatever. To me, that's a challenge. And I mean, remember I did the Metallica cover, the Unforgiven.
Mm-hmm.
That's a heavy metal, and I
Cool
bring
stuff.
it to reggae. So the more challenging the situation is, and it's better for me. I work very well under pressure. I'm a person that I work under pressure, and that's me. So I would like to collaborate with everybody, and it's not necessarily you have to be a star or because to me everybody's a genius. Everyone is a genius. Some people recognize as genius, some people don't, but there's a genius in everybody. So I like to capture the genius that is in you and just put it into a song.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
And you definitely do. The songs that I've heard, your collaborations, it seems to me like you are able to get the best out of that artist. You know what I mean? And that's not an easy feat because, all 3 of us here are musicians and we've been in the studio and it's like trying to capture magic in a bottle. It has to be the right vibe, the right time of day. Are they fed? Are they? And the collaborations I've heard, it's like, wow, you get the full potential of these artists. I mean, is there any kind of method that you use in the studio to make people feel like, comfortable?
You say something very right. It's all part of being a professional producer, and when I say producer, I don't mean a beat maker. I mean a producer.
Right.
A producer, it's really somebody that get the best out of you and make it happen somehow. And after so much years behind the mixing board and recording people, I master my craft. I know what I'm doing. And also as vocalist, I also do background vocals and stuff. So I can tell, like when a singer singing, say, "Oh, don't sing that note, sing it." So I'm trained, so I know what to say to them. I know how to do it and whatever. It's just a matter of you find somebody that works with you. I don't. I mean, you have some artists that they, like this, and they just, But when I see that, I just hold my corner and I know what to do also in a situation like that. But back to what you were saying is like, it's part of the experience, As a professional producer, my job is to actually make you sound good.
Right.
I'm working presently with Buju Banton. So
Nice.
Wow.
I'm producing Buju Banton, a couple of songs, and he's doing amazing. And the songs are like, whoa, so it's my job, man. I mean, behind the mixing board, I'm a
Right.
professional. It's like a chef. an Italian chef in a big restaurant. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah,
Such a
definitely.
total-
You notice I always speak about food, right?
Yeah, you do. I did notice that.
Hey.
Because food, a recipe, and music is the same thing. You need the garlic, the onion, and then the oil, and then whatever you do, the sauce and the pasta and whatever. So you put together ingredients, and then it's gonna taste amazing. Music is the same thing. You have the drum and the bass, your mic, the kick drum, the snare, bottom snare, top snare, the toms, then the overheads, and then the piano, and then the guitar. And you mix everything together, and then you mix it. When you mix it, it's like you're mixing the ingredients, and then at the end of the day, you have a song, and the vocals are the Parmesan cheese. Like, so you just sprinkle the Parmesan, that's the vocals, and then you present the plate, and then you eat it, and you're good.
Well, I'm
Jeez.
hungry now.
I think I'm going for Italian food afterwards.
I know, man. I got like a burrito in the fridge. I don't even want to know.
Yeah, man.
Give me that burrito.
Oh, you can do it.
That's such a good analogy, and you're so
It
right.
really
You
is,
know.
yeah.
So tomorrow, when you speak to people, they're gonna ask you, "Oh, you guys spoke about music last night?" No, we spoke about like cooking,
No,
cooking and recipes and Italian food and stuff like that.
it's perfect.
I love it, man. Yeah, no more reggae. It's all chef now. This is a chef show now. No more reggae show. You know.
So,
By the way, you see what I have behind me, right? Because you mentioned it.
the
You see,
Butron.
right? Yes.
That's it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. I mean,
That's.
I have it, man.
Have you? I'm sure you have, because you're so connected. Like, have you got to sit with some of these our forefathers like Lee Perry and
Yes.
you know, go to school and ask them questions, or sit with the
I have a story to tell you if you have 2 minutes.
Please do.
We do.
Yeah.
I was in the studio, and Lee Perry came. We had dinner together. I was at G-Jam studio, great studio in Portland, Port Antonio, Jamaica. Lee Perry came. He was at the studio for a couple of days. I was engineering, whatever. So in the night, I was there with Lee Perry, and I say, "Yo, Papa," I call him Papa. Let me play a song for you. When I started, I never really take myself seriously like that. Not even now. I learned that you don't have to take yourself too serious, because you're gonna, you're not going too far. So I never really took myself that serious, including now. I just do things because I love music and stuff, and everything I do it knowing that don't go too far. Keep yourself grounded, and don't take yourself too serious. When you take yourself too serious, the energy that you push out is not the right one.
Mm-hmm.
So I said to him, I'm going to play a song for you. But, I said to him, I don't like it, but tell me what you think. I mean, that was one of my first project and whatever. So I played the song for Lee Perry, the maestro, just to show you something. This is crazy. I played the song for Lee Perry, and he was like, oh man, like he stand up and listen to the song and start make phone calls and call people. Oh man, like listen. And I was like, what the, like, say what you like it? This is gonna be the biggest song in the world. This is gonna destroy the world, conquer the world. You're gonna be touring for the next 15 years. This is the song. And I said, really? I'm happy, bro. I mean, so we followed what the man said, and we put out the song. And guess what song is that?
What song is it?
Kingston Town.
There you go. Wow. So
Wow.
he knew. He still got that producer hat.
So this guy, he's a genius.
Yeah.
Because he said to me that, you're gonna tour until you're weak. You're gonna do this. This song is gonna destroy the world. And Kingston Town was a, with all due respect, it was a song that did very well, including now. I mean, up to now, like, it's a song that and so I must acknowledge and appreciate the man's talent, because he's a true genius. I mean, to get the vision from a song. Not only saying, "Oh, it's a big song," whatever. The man told me what it's going to be just by listening to the song. That show you that this guy is the real thing.
Just that he's got that. He's still got that ear. He just knows.
Yes.
He
Yes.
just knows when it's a hit.
Yes.
When it's
Yes.
more than a hit. When it's just an anthem.
Incredible. It was incredible, and I learned a lot from him, from Jammies, Bobby Digital. I work with everybody, Sly and Robbie, just name it. I work with Flabber, the Roots Radix. I work with the Wheelers, Tyrone Downey, Family Man, Junior Mervyn. I work with everybody in reggae. So I learned my thing from the real people. And when it comes to music, to engineering, producing, whatever, so I went to school. Now I'm here now, and I got my diploma. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now you're working on the doctorate.
Say yes.
Yes.
And that's the beautiful thing about reggae music is that as the generations move on and people that were once new to the situation as a musician or a record producer, if they stick with it and if they're good and if the quality's good, then they start to become those people that the younger people look up to. And you have already been there by far and are continuing to be there. I mean, legend in the making for sure. What you've done in so many different pockets. So we talked about the equipment, which is just, it's still hard to fathom that museum of equipment.
I know. I had to steer the conversation away just for the audience, but that. You and the three of us need to have a 5-hour equipment conversation sometime.
But even beyond that, right? Because someone could do that, and then that it's just a piece of hardware. It goes way beyond that because hearing your music, there's a definitive sound that comes with that, and it's a definitive, beautiful sound. I don't know how to describe it. It's just very, even the sonic quality is very pleasing to the ears. You know how some songs may be a little harsh or you don't know what it is. And it's,
think about what he just described in terms of all his equipment that he's got and all
Right.
and that's why more and more your food analogy is so good. It's
it's a beautiful,
it's some chefs just go down to the corner store and get whatever, and some, go to various farmers markets and they're looking out for the best ingredients, and
Right.
you're just all the stuff he's selecting, it can't be duplicated, so
Thank you.
no, for sure.
sure.
And we were just talking about Kingston Town, and our listener Jordan Foster, he wants to know what inspired you to write that song.
Yes, Jordan, respect. Well, I was just telling a story. At that time, I used to live in Port Antonio in Portland, a little bit far from the city life. And so that is the story of me actually going into the city, and it's just the story of it's a vision, it's the pictures, and you see people walking, and the everyday life in Kingston. So I'm just describing the situation there, what I see, the police, the soldiers, the girls, Jamaican girls, they're very sexy, and and then you see they're just the everyday life, people hustling, man smoke weed, you see the Rasta man walking and whatever. So I said, let me give people a description of everyday life in Kingston, the Kingston town. So that was it, and the rest is history.
And then Lee Perry heard it, and that's it.
Yes. Oh,
that's such a cool story. I gotta ask, since you mentioned Port Antonio, did you know at that time? Did you know Leonard Dillon of the Ethiopians? Because I know he was living there.
no.
You didn't know him? Okay, I had to ask because he was a big inspiration for me, and
Nice.
yeah. So cool, Jordan. Thank you for that question. Yeah, man. And you recently did a dub version of the Wailing Souls new record called Backyard Dub.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, can you tell us a little bit about that? You mentioned how they were an early inspiration for you.
Yes. I grew up listening to Wailing Souls. I saw them many times. Also, we performed in California many times, and and we performed together and whatever. So I was asked by VP Records to produce the Wailing Souls album, I immediately accepted, obviously, and it was a very good experience. I was there alongside Flabba. Flabba, you know, good friend. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
bass player for the Roots Radix.
Yep.
Legend, yeah.
Legend, yes, man himself. And the Wailing Souls, they came with their songs. They wrote the songs and pipe and bread, and came with some kind of structure and some cards and whatever, and then just change it and put my magic in there. And with Flabber, we made it happen. And then eventually, I did the dub version of the album.
Okay, so you were there from the beginning of the recording of.
Right.
I didn't realize that. Okay, wow, that's nice.
Yeah, no, they came here in my
Yeah.
studio.
Nice.
Ken actually mentioned that. Remember,
Yes,
I'm
yes.
barely remembering it because we know
Yes.
Ken. He works with another band that we're familiar with over here. We're
Yes.
actually playing. Yeah.
So
That's
they
cool.
came and we made the album. It was great experience, good memories, and and then eventually I did the dub version of the album, Bakaya Dub.
Nice.
Wow. It
And
was
he's doing very well. He's doing very well for a dub album. I said, "Whoa, man!"
Oh.
Like, I mean, people like rediscovering like the foundation. I mean, this is what we need, guys. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we need to stick to the foundation, because if you buy a house, you're not buying the roof. You buy the land, and that's your foundation. And our music, it's the foundation. And reggae created most of the music that we listen even today, like
Yeah.
from hip hop, even trap.
Yeah.
Trap is like, to me, sounds like dub. I mean,
Yeah.
trap is dub. I mean, you could really, I'm gonna put it out there so just people do it. I mean, you could do trap dub, like, I mean, uh, reggae created like all the English, music from that time, like the Massive Attack type of sound, the dubbish, the jungle, all the music, like EDM have a lot of dubs in there,
For
like
sure.
dub music. And so it is massive, like, or some people like, let's speak about reggaeton. I mean, that's dancehall music from the early 90s. I mean, reggae is massive also because reggae created most of the music that we listen to nowadays.
Mhm.
And people just sometimes don't think about it, So that's the key. The foundation is the key. So we need to keep the foundation going.
That's
Most
very true.
definitely.
And definitely, like, people like Roger and I and everyone watching who do love, the foundation Jamaican music, appreciate when artists like you really kind of, make that part of their mission to do that.
Yes.
Because that's just, it's a, everything you said is true about Jamaican music and how it, influenced global music moving forward ever since it came on the scene. Hip hop, EDM, everything. EDM is, especially, like, I always think about that, just even like beyond the dub elements that you hear, just the concept of the engineer being not just somebody who's making the musician sound nice, but an actual part of the creative process. It's just, it really started in Jamaica on that kind of scale. You know what I mean?
Yes, and that's the reality of the situation. Like Jamaican music really contribute to the, but also the early hip hop. Most of them were Jamaicans also.
Mhm.
Right. Cool Herc
And-
on
and
the
yeah.
whole East
Yeah.
Coast thing.
In New York.
Yes.
Have you ventured outside of the reggae bubble, and we're talking other subgenres? Have you collaborated with other artists or producers where the product, if anybody were to hear it, it wouldn't come off as a reggae thing? It would. Have you done that?
Sometime I do some collaboration with like some different artists from different genres and stuff. But my style is always my style anyway. So
Right.
I'm giving them like the DJ style, the sing J, the whatever. So, but it would be nice for me to actually do something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean necessarily have to do an album or whatever. We can just do some visuals and whatever. Like, I would like, for instance, to sing some jazz music.
Wow.
Nice.
Yes, because I'm very capable of doing that, and I would like to try it, but not as I said to you as a project to release somewhere, just some maybe do a little live jazz show. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Yeah.
because
That would be crazy.
yeah, but because at the end of the day, I'm a musician and I produce a musician, so I like the I listen to everything. I really believe in me. When I'm here at nighttime, I listen to bossa nova. You know, I listen
Beautiful.
to flamenco. I listen to Cuban music. I like sounds from the world. I like sounds from the Latin America. I like sounds from Argentina, the cumbia from Colombia, Mexican music. I listen to popular music from places like uh, you know, Cape Verde music. I listen to African music. I listen to a lot of music like that. I grew up with rock. I grew up with psychedelic music, the Queen, the Pink Floyd, you know, the Scorpions. I grew up with all this music that we know. So I started to research music from the world, from the ghettos of South America, so from Brazil, you know, Central America, and so I really listen to everything. So I could do everything because I'm familiar with that type of sound also.
Right.
So maybe one day I will try. You know?
Which is the key, you know
Wow.
what I mean? Like in terms of producing one's own music, it's like if you're working in any genre, you know, we always say this as reggae musicians, it's like maybe you're putting a band together and you get some guy on guitar or whatever, maybe drums or bass, and they're just a wicked musician, you know what I mean? But they don't really listen to Jamaican music. And
Yeah.
right away you can tell. You're like, all right, you got, you know, you could play music, but you don't know this pocket. You're dismissing it as easy music or whatever it is, you know what I mean? And so the fact that you're saying you listen to so many genres, like, makes me believe you that, yeah, you could produce it, because that really is the key, you know, being a fan and a lover of that style first. And then, like, you know, when you go to make it, your ear already knows your groove, you know what I mean? Your pocket is already there. So that'd be nice. That'd be nice to hear some Alborosie jazz.
Yes,
Yeah, it'd be great.
Just a Rosie.
Jazzarosie. That's it. I was gonna say Alba
That's the
Jazzy, but
album.
the same thing.
Yeah, so I mean, when I listen to reggae from California, you can hear that it's made different, you know. And
Yes.
and I appreciate it like that. I mean, to me, when you listen to reggae from Hawaii, it doesn't sound like Jamaican reggae. My reggae sound like Jamaican reggae because I'm here in Jamaica, you know. So that's the way it's supposed to be. If I was maybe in Italy doing it, I would sound completely different from you know. So, but that's the beauty. That's why I appreciate like people vision, how they translate the sound in comparison to their culture, or they, you know, take the music and make it and to fit their own style and their life, you know. So, you know, I mean, so that's the beauty of music, and that's what I try to do, like to bring all these ingredients and elements to my trattoria. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yes. Back
I'm hungry. I'm hungry, man.
Yeah, me too. I'm hungry too.
Give me some pasta, man. Give me some pasta.
What's the Italian food like in Jamaica? Do you ever find any?
You know, I mean, I cook my Italian food, man.
Right.
And, I mean, of course, I find the spaghetti, I find the sauce and whatever. We buy pizza, but pizza is like, you know, the Domino's pizza, the Pizza Hut, and whatever.
Yeah.
I need to go back to Italy as soon as possible to just, you know, I want to do restaurant vacation. I don't want to go sleep. I just want to be in a restaurant, you know, like
There you go.
just every day in a restaurant. You know, Italian food is great, so I need to go back there, which is going to be very soon.
Nice.
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 Thank you.
Well, man, you know, it's been so nice talking to you, and we could have you on, you know, for hours and go over this stuff. But we want to close out the show with this segment that we always do. It's called the Rapid Fire segment, and we just like to ask the guests some quick questions, and you could just, you know, the first thing that comes to your brain, you could just give us the answer. We don't need to spend too long on the.
That's very dangerous, though.
It is.
well,
It is.
we'll see.
It's painless. It's painless.
But the more dangerous, the better. Okay, I'll go first here,
Yeah,
Raj.
man. Yeah, man.
All right, Alborosie, what's the first album you remember buying?
Metallica.
Nice.
Which one?
Ride the Lightning.
Yeah.
Nice.
Next question. What was the last thing you listened to before this interview, before this whole thing? What was the last piece of music you listened to?
João Gilberto.
Ooh, very nice.
Weren't we just talking about him?
Beam Boom. Yeah, we talked about him in the Joey segment.
Yeah, we were our last guest was just talking about him.
I don't know you pronounce it, and I hope I pronounce it properly. You know?
Yeah, João Gilberto.
João Gilberto, something like that.
Yeah.
Like, great guitar player. We were talking about him in Baden Powell. Yes.
Yes.
Great guitar. Go ahead, Dave.
All right. The Harder They Come or Rockers?
Isn't the same thing.
So both is your answer.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Because the Rockers and Harder They Come, to me, it's like one element, no?
Right.
It's very true.
Yeah,
Very
it is.
true. It's one
That's
piece
good.
of like musical cinema, Jamaican musical cinema history.
It's true because those are like the two.
Those are
But,
the two.
I would go for Rockers. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a great answer on it all. Yeah, just
It is.
establishing that they're pretty equal, but Rockers edges it out a little bit. Yeah. What is your favorite? I mean, someone like you who tours the world, what's your favorite item on the hospitality rider backstage?
I don't ask for anything.
Okay.
I just want my couch.
There you go.
Don't give me no plastic chair. Don't give me no chair. I need a couch. Because I want to be very like this. And I just give me a couch. That's it. Don't yes, couch. That's it.
I love it. I love it.
So on my rider there's a couch.
Couch.
Beautiful couch.
That's it. No, nothing else. Just water and couch.
I love it.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
What was the last live concert you attended as an audience member?
No, I don't. I'm afraid of being into the crowd. That's why I became an artist.
That's a good answer in itself.
Yes, I couldn't go to stage shows. I suffer from panic and whatever. You can't put me in the crowd. So I said, you know what? Everybody invite me to shows, and you know what? I can't be in a crowd, so let me be on stage. At least I have my space.
Good call.
Nice. That's no.
Good call. Who is your favorite singer of all time from Jamaica?
Oh, man.
I know.
From a vocal standpoint, maybe not your favorite songwriter or whatever, but just like the tone of their voice, singer.
Barry Salmon.
Ooh,
Beautiful.
that's a nice one.
He's a great one. I mean, everybody, don't get me wrong, Dennis Brown and everybody is a genius, but if I work with Barry and this guy is magic, magic.
For sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, of course, there's so many answers to these questions, but there's something to be said for the first thing that pops in your mind. It's like, oh, that was first for a reason, Like this question, who is your favorite, quote unquote, current young modern singer in Jamaica?
There's a lot of them. Many of them. I like coffee. I mean,
Yeah,
Good call.
coffee different.
different for sure.
A different vibe and whatever. Fresh, young. But I'm a fan of a lot of people. I mean, I appreciate every single artist because every artist is a star. Every artist deserves a spotlight because it's so difficult to put yourself out there with your music. It's so challenging. You go on stage and you have to please the crowd. The crowd is a beast. The industry, it's made with beasts and devils. So it's not easy. It's not easy, and we suffer. We try to do well. So my respect goes to all the artists from A to Z, and I'm a little bit allergic to the artists when they're too big and too like divas. I like to be. I'm a politician, so I have to be amongst the people, and so my respect goes to the artist, the real one, that they struggle to the man with the organ, smoking a cigarette and drinking a beer while performing in a jazz club. These people are, the real backbone of the music and whatever.
So true.
But,
That's Roger.
respect to all the artists. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Have you worked with coffee?
Not yet. Not yet. I didn't try to eventually,
Yeah.
Oh,
one
man.
day. Yeah.
That'd be crazy. Here's the next question, and this might be the final one. But what is
Yeah.
your favorite place to perform in the world?
The stage.
Nice.
I love it. I love your answers. Yeah, they're so great. The stage, yes. It doesn't matter where the stage is at, right? It's like the stage.
The stage is the stage. It's black with the monitors, and it's you there. It's your music, and you bring your culture. You bring your entire life in front of a crowd that it's always the same. There is no difference. People ask me, where is the place that the crowd was whatever.
Yeah.
The crowd is the crowd. The crowd is always the same. Once you push love, you get in love back.
Right.
You're not gonna push love and you're gonna get hate. You're not gonna push fire and you get water. You push fire, you get the fire back. The crowd is the crowd. So the stage must be the most beautiful show I ever kept, all over the world.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Well, thank
Yeah.
you for those answers. That was one of our best lightning rounds we've ever done. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
And yeah, thank you for coming on the show so much. We really appreciate you taking some time, and we appreciate you let us premiere the new song Jinnah. It's a
Thank
banger. Yeah, man, sounds nice. Besides the album coming out June 4th, is there anything you want to make sure that people know before we let you go?
Well, people just go out there and tell everybody the album is coming out on June 4th. We need to support reggae, not only my reggae, but reggae music in general, and dub music, and the culture music, and for the culture and the culture of reggae music. And the culture of reggae music is worldwide culture, from the United States to Europe and South America, Africa, all over the world. No matter where you come from, it's one family, one destiny, and one destination. And the destination is mankind.
Big.
love it.
That's big. Well,
Yes.
with those words, we'll leave you all with those words of wisdom from Alborosie. Thank you, sir. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
We're looking
Thank you,
forward
man.
to the new album, and we hope we can get you back on the show sometime. We can.
Anytime.
All right, cool.
Beautiful.
Say what's up to Igor and the crew, and we will see you soon. Be safe over there, and I can't wait to see you on stage.
Thank
Yes.
you. God bless you all. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
We'll
God
see
bless
you,
you.
Alborosie.
All right,
Thank
sir.
you.
We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yep. All right, man. Alborosie.
The legend, man. Great answers there. I love those answers.
So good.
Yeah,
What a
man.
guy, man. I just, it's like this show has so far been it's just been a real blessing in so many ways. And the main way is just to get to talk to these artists who it's a unique format to talk. Like, I'm just talking about me, like me personally, like as one of the hosts of this show, like to get to talk to artists because, you talk to an artist you look up to maybe like backstage or you meet them somewhere and it's just a different vibe, and here I just feel really lucky to get to talk to, some artists that I've looked up to in a situation like this, you know what I mean? And you really get to like see sides of their personality come out. And I really, really enjoyed that conversation.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fortunate because I get to talk to you every show. So that's my.
Yeah. Well, wish I could say the same thing.
Yes. No, Alborosie's special, dude.
And
It's cool.
we did mention the last show that we did that we're moving to a pre-recorded format, and that is true. We are doing that. But once in a while, as the situation dictates, we're going to go live, and it just so happens, ironically, that this situation dictated that we go live on our regular day and time. So that's what we did here. But we are moving to a pre-recorded format, and we've already got a couple under our belt, and we're doing more here in the next coming days, and we'll release those over the summer. We haven't like nailed down our publication schedule yet, but that's coming. But before we wrap up this edition of the Reggae PodClash, we want to give some quick shout-outs. Roger, you want to read these?
Yeah, man. Some shout-outs. People we love, people we support. Rootsland Podcast, presented by Consequence of Sound. The host, Henry Ko. He is really a good storyteller. I encourage you guys to go and check this out because it's just addicting. It's a must-listen for the Jamaican fans of Jamaican music. Songs from Scratch, the good homie of ours, Nate Feinstein. Go follow his Instagram, Nathan_Aurora. Clinton Fearon, one of our guests, I think the only gentleman to appear twice on this show. We're big fans of him and his legacy. A Sunday With and Talk with a Friend. He has 2 segments. Go check out his Facebook and his Instagram. History of LA Ska. I mentioned him earlier in the show. Eric Kohler's doing some cool stuff with Junior Francis. Highlighting ska and the history we got going on with bands that play Jamaican music. Go check out their Instagram. Chuck Foster, Devin mentioned him earlier. He is just a legend in his own right. I think that he's opened the door for everybody's musical reggae journey, including mine and Devin's. And without him, man, there'd be so many artists I don't know about. So go check him out every Sunday from 2 to 5 on KPFK 90.7 if you're over here local to Los Angeles. Junior Francis Reggae Show, same thing. Every Saturday night, he's from 8 to 11 on KXLU.com. Scope that out. And tonight, Dub Club is going off on Twitch. Every Wednesday night from 9 to 12, go on twitch.tv/dubclubla. It's a true party. It's a true virtual party. Like out of all the virtual parties I've seen, they are the best. It's like the closest thing to an actual, like, dang, I'm partying here. You know,
it really is. And tonight's a unique one because Tom Chastain is not going to be doing it tonight, so it's all Boss Harmony. I think it's from 9 to 11 tonight.
Okay, cool.
Which Tom Chastain is a wicked DJ. You can't say enough. But both of them have their styles. You know what I mean?
Right.
And Boss Harmony has his style where he kind of like skews to the early part of Jamaican.
Right.
And he dips into like the 80s. And he's got some wicked digital and dancehall productions. But tonight, I'm pretty sure it's going to be an all Boss Harmony set. So that's always a treat, And I want to mention real quick a very special shout out and thanks to Music Nomad. Music Nomad is a really, really cool company, and if people don't know about them, you got to go check it out. Just Google Music Nomad's One for Music program. The company's mission, it's super cool, is to provide the independent musician with thousands of organized resources to help produce, sell, and support your music. We know all independent musicians know how hard it is to do this stuff, and it's hard enough just having a musician's brain, but to be expected to have like that musician's brain and then have a good business brain, it's hard. You know what I mean? It's hard to do both those things, and their site provides thorough help in key areas like building a fan base, even finding a tour van, getting finished recordings to the ears of listeners, connecting with other local musicians, and maybe their coolest feature, it's a free app that helps independent artists organize and manage their tours, which if anybody has been on tour by themselves, quickly, you're in over your head. And their app helps you organize and manage your tours. It's really cool. And in addition to all the resources that Music Nomad provides for free to the artists in need, they also manufacture and sell high-quality, eco-friendly cleaning equipment for guitars and drums. And I've used it. It's high-quality stuff. So go check out Music Nomad. You can even go search on rootfire.net. If you just Google Rootfire Music Nomad, you'll see an article that I wrote as the Rootfire editor and did an interview with the founder of Music Nomads. There's a really cool company. Any independent musicians out there would really be doing themselves a favor by checking that out. So I encourage you all to do so.
It was cool you said musical equipment after you said cleaning supplies, because I was like, vacuum cleaners,
no,
shampoers. Okay, cool.
It's for like getting the smudges off your guitar and all kinds of nice stuff, and it's
Love
eco-friendly.
it.
So that is a concern. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like aerosol sprays and everything. And they're very cognizant of that, and so they make an effort to make all their products eco-friendly, which I do appreciate. So before we wrap, Roger, you got anything coming up you want to let the people know about?
Yeah, I just got a word. Well, it was announced as his whole camp started announcing it earlier this week. But I will be going on a summer tour with Jason Mraz playing keyboards, and that's big news. So
big news.
I don't have the dates memorized, of course, and they're not provided here. But you can go to jasonmraz.com. Go check my Instagram out at reggae_Raj. I'm always going to be letting people know about that upcoming tour and what's going on. I'm really looking forward to that big tour coming up. Devin, what do you got going on?
Well, I do want to announce this and talk about it, even though I don't have it here on the slide. But my album, the Man Like Devin Wheel and Shoulder record, which has been in the works, Roger's a co-producer and engineered the whole thing, that I've been working on for a few years now. We finally have all the release dates, and the first single is going to come out on June 18th, and June 17th we're going to premiere it on Rootfire. It's going to be out. The album's going to be out on Rootfire Cooperative. We haven't made any official announcements, but I feel like I just want to talk about it. And so the first single comes out on June 18th, and the album is releasing on August 20th. So between June 18th and August 20th, we're going to be releasing a handful of singles from the record. Everybody go check it out. You can't really go anywhere right now at this very moment to find it, but if you're listening retroactively and it happens to be in after June 2021, go check out Man Like Devin. The album is called Wheel and Shoulder. I'm really, really proud of this record. I made it with myself and my brother and Roger Rivas and my dad.
It's an amazing
friends.
record, and I'm not saying this because
Roger.
Devin's a homie. Like, it really is. I've been a fan of his songwriting forever, and it's just some really cool stuff. It's one of those things where, a golden rule is if you're a musician and you get excited about something, like that's a census. That's like a total sign that it's, other people will get excited about it too. So I'm not even playing on the thing, and I can't wait for people to hear it.
I just got all the copies of the vinyl, 10 plus boxes shipped over here. Stoked. It looks nice. Roger Rivas, Roger Rivas, you guys know who that is? He designed the whole record cover too. We worked on it together. Any fans of old rocksteady music will instantly recognize the inspiration that we got for the album cover. But I'm just stoked on the whole thing. As a musician, it's nice to finally get your product like in your hand. Even the word product, I say it, but I hate that because it's like it makes it sound very like capitalistic, like assembly line, like, oh, my product. But just getting like the physical copy of the thing in your hand, it feels really nice. And
getting the candy, just call it candy.
Because it's like it's done. That's the end of the wrapping up process, right? Because after you like record it and mix it and master it, you're still dealing with like the vinyl company and the record label and everything. You know what I mean? There's still things happening. And once you get it in hand, you're like, that's it. It's done.
It's your baby, yeah.
It's done. Like, this is done, and I can move on to the next thing. But like, appreciate this thing that we did. And it's an all acoustic, 100% acoustic reggae, rocksteady, and ska record that I'm really happy with. So check for that. Come in this summer. Man Like Devin, Wheel and Shoulder. This is our last live broadcast for a little while, unless for some reason it isn't, but it's our last regular one that we have scheduled for a bit. But please stay tuned to the Reggae PodClash this summer. We've got a lot of great episodes coming out scattered across the summer. Some we've recorded already, some we're about to do in the coming days that we're going to bring to you guys slowly but surely, just to, we got to spread these out because they're reggae gold. But until that happens, I'm Man Like Devin.
I'm Roger Rivas.
And this is the Reggae PodClash. Big thanks to our special guest today, Alborosie and VP Records and Ineffable Music. Big up Igor. And we'll see y'all later.
Peace.